Hello, thanks for joining us for Encore's film show. Coming up, Oscar winner Denzel Washington is a shop assistant turned vigilante in The Equalizer. The price of fame and the cost of fandom come crashing together in our French pick of the week, Elle. And the French actress Julie Gayet will be speaking to us from the Beirut International Film Festival. And for all that, we're joined by France 24's film critic, the lovely Lisa Nesselson. Lisa, hello, welcome.
Hello, Eve.
Thank you for being here. Now, we've known him as Malcolm X in Easy Rawlings, a runaway slave and a corrupt LA cop. He's won Oscars for his roles in Training Day and Glory. Have you got a favourite Denzel Washington film?
Well, everything you just listed, he's a consummate actor. He's got an incredible range. I very, very much appreciated him as Malcolm X, but he's got comic timing too, and I hope we'll be seeing him for many years to come.
Well, he turns 60 this year, and as he releases his latest film, The Equalizer, we caught up with him on set. Siobhan Silk reports.
What do you see when you look at me?
A leading man and now an action hero. In December, Denzel Washington will celebrate his 60th birthday, but he's not close to retirement or to slowing down.
Gotta be who you are in this world, right?
On the set of The Equalizer, he impressed director Antoine Fuqua with his physical prowess. The Equalizer is the second time the two men have teamed up. Their first collaboration was 2001's Training Day, where Washington, whose CV was up till then filled with noble and honourable characters, played against type with a complex portrait of a corrupt LA cop. The part won Washington an Academy Award, his second, but first for Best Actor in a Leading Role, the first time a black performer had won that accolade since Sidney Poitier in 1963. Washington's most frequent collaborator has been director Spike Lee. They've made 4 films together. It was for Lee that Denzel Washington gave his acclaimed performance as black nationalist leader Malcolm X. He moved into the Hollywood big leagues. The actor worked alongside Tom Hanks in Philadelphia, one of the first mainstream films about the impact of AIDS. And he starred opposite Julia Roberts in the slick John Grisham thriller The Pelican Brief, a box office blockbuster.
This thing reaches as deep and goes as high as we think it does.
We are in a dive. I have no control of myself.
More recently, in 2012's Flight, he again played a multifaceted character, an alcoholic but heroic airline pilot. He's a huge box office draw, but Washington lives his life far from the gossip columns. This son of a pastor, still a committed Christian, says acting is his ministry.
His latest film, The Equalizer, is out in France now. Well, now to our French pick of the week, Elle adore. It translates as She Adores Him, and you adore the film, Lisa.
Indeed I do. This is a wonderful surprise. It's a sardonic, dark comedy, amoral, also sort of meshed with a thriller. It's the story of Muriel, played by Sadrid Kiberlin, who's a beautician, and she's just got this knack for fabulating, for extending the truth into fibland, but in ways that aren't completely implausible. And she's been a fan for 20 years of a singer named Vincent, and one night he knocks on her door in the middle of the night, and because she's such a big fan of his and he thinks she'll do anything for him, and she will, she agrees to drive a car with something in the trunk to Switzerland, and she's supposed to follow his instructions to the letter, and she does, but as we find out later, and as does Vincent, she used a different letter in a different part of the alphabet, and then things go haywire in interesting ways. This clip doesn't really reflect the comedy side of it, it's more of the thriller side, but let's watch.
Le plus dingue que j'ai fait pour Vincent, c'est...
Mademoiselle Bayen, vous êtes désormais placée en garde à vue pour une durée de 24 heures minimum.
And the filmmaker Jeanne Herry is a first-time filmmaker. Do you think she'll go far?
I am ready to be first in line for the next movie she makes. This won the Prix Michel d'Ornano as the best, most promising French first film of the year. And it might just be hard work, or it might be heredity, because she happens to be the daughter of Julien Clerc, who's been a major French pop star for about 40 years, and veteran actress Miu Miu. But I think she's got talent all around.
Well, next, Lisa, the Beirut International Film Festival opens today in Lebanon. Give us some background to the event.
Well, it's the 14th edition, and by virtue of where it's held, it reminds us that the cinema, much like athletics and sports, is one of those things that can federate people from all over the world and lead to healthy cultural exchange and mutual respect. This festival specializes in work by Middle Eastern directors with Middle Eastern topics, but they also are showing some pretty high-profile movies from other parts of the world. For example, they're opening with the French film The Clouds of Sils Maria, and they're ending with the espionage thriller Most Wanted Man.
Okay, well, the French actress Julie Gayet is the president of the jury, and I'm pleased to say she joins us now from Beirut. Hello, Julie.
Bonjour.
Thanks for joining us. Now, the festival is taking place surrounded by quite a tense political situation in the Middle East. How much is that on your mind while you're out there, and does it have an impact on the festival?
Well, this is the reason why we're here. I think it's important that culture and cinema, which is freedom, which express what you said about sport, and for people to just join in films that are from the Middle East, but also tonight it's going to be Clouds of Sils Maria by Olivier Sayas with Juliette Binoche. And that kind of meaningful cinema, or at least a film cinéma d'auteur.
You know, there's an emphasis, as you said, on films from the Middle East, but do you personally think it matters where a film is made or the nationality of the director?
Oh, when you're in Cannes, and I had the chance to be in the jury in Cannes of Un Certain Regard, you see films all around the world, and it's like traveling and dive into these worlds you don't even know. So I was very amazed when Colette sent me the list of the films from the Middle East here in competition, that there were so many women, for example, and quality films. So yes and no. It's films, it's universal, but it's like, all these themes are, you know, these kind of stories are being told all over the world in the same times, like fathers and sons, or deaths, or whatever. It says something about the world.
I'm glad you mentioned women, because you've been acting for roughly 20 years. Have you seen more opportunities for women in all aspects of cinema? Has the situation improved?
Well, yes, in France we are very lucky, and there is many directors, and I tried to make a focus on that last year with a friend of mine, Mathieu Busson. We did a documentary, but it's still like 26% of women as directors. But still, yes, it's changing. The new society, the new generation of women, and that's what I am noticing in France, at least, don't even ask themselves that question, and it's a new generation. But in the world, what's happening now, that is one of the reasons I am very happy to be here and to see these women and to talk with them. And someone as Colette, the director of the festival, Nofal, that has so much strength and is fighting for a festival each year. She's an incredible woman trying to, you know, fight for that different cinema.
And Julie, just before we go, I have to ask you, is there lots of buzz over there in Lebanon due to George Clooney's marriage to Lebanese lawyer Amal Alamuddin?
I'm not so... I didn't know, so I heard of yesterday, but I'm not so good with the people side of...
Okay. All right, Julie Gayet, thank you so much for joining us from the Beirut International Film Festival.
Pleasure.
Well, Lisa, let's quickly talk about George Clooney's wedding. It went on for 72 hours in Venice. Have you been following it?
High-powered international lawyer marries obscure American actor. No, not really. I think Western civilization is safe as long as people don't come to Paris looking for the Cluny Museum, C-L-U-N-Y, which is the medieval wing of the Louvre, expecting to find, George Clooney's wedding videos. But they're a power couple that I think we can look forward to hearing about.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Well, just before we go, you're a big champion of short films. The 25th edition of Cartoon Forum has been taking place in the south of France. You were there, despite the Air France strike. It's an event where grown-ups watch cartoons.
Indeed, and that sounds silly and frivolous, but in fact, over 800 people attend this event where they pitch ideas for animated TV series. There were 82 such projects, 27 or 29 of them were French, so I think we can say that animation is big business because this was the 25th anniversary, and over that time, they found funding for over 500 projects to the tune of 1.9 billion euros. So animation is a big deal, and I saw everything from gentle educational shows for preschoolers to a rather radical, hardcore exploration of every aspect of sex, but animated. And but most of the stuff is about, teddy bears and rabbits and stuff.
And the Cartoon Door, which is the award for the best European animated short film, was announced. Did you like the winner?
I love this movie. One of the effigies is here on my shirt. It is The Christmas Log by two Belgian stop-action animators. It's a wacky 26-minute short. I have to say that all 5 finalists, all of which have won prizes at other European festivals, were gems in their particular storytelling objectives this year. But this is a movie that I never tire of, and it's called The Christmas Log with cowboy and horse and Indian.
Okay, well, we're going to leave you with the Christmas log. Remember our website, we're also on Twitter and Facebook. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this. Cool, I'd not really...
Loyal, fourchette, c'est à vous!
Mais pas du tout, cowboy! Mais pousse-toi, tu ne connais rien! Viens ici! Arrête! Tu vas voir ça! Je vais te péter la figure!
Cowboy, et voilà. De la crème.